Hi, my name is Kyuri and welcome to today's yoga class. Today we're just going to do a quick session to help us feel invigorated and light and energized for the rest of the day. So morning flow. So all we're going to really need is our mat today. So roll out your mat and we'll begin whenever you're ready. So today we'll actually begin in our comfortable seat. So find a nice easy cross that feels comfortable for your hips. Otherwise, you can utilize a block underneath your hips to help elevate your seat to make it a little bit more comfortable. But wherever you are, find your seat, take a nice big breath in, and help us set the tone for the session today. So every time you take a breath in, think about expanding through your chest, your ribs, and your belly. And then every time you exhale, think about drawing the navel in towards the spine and pushing all of the air out. Take another big breath in, followed by a big breath out. Good, we'll take one more like that. Big breath in, and then a big breath out. Good, on your next inhale, we'll just take our neck and gently drop our right ear over to our right shoulder. And then maybe gently tucking the chin forward, finding that nice big stretch happening on the left side, back side of the neck. And then take another big breath in as you bring your head all the way back to center. And then exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Good. Again, gently tuck the chin forward. Take another breath. Good. And then gently bring the head all the way back to center as you exhale. And then on your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the top. Big reach. And then exhale, take your right hand over towards the right side of the mat and then reach that left arm up and over. Try to keep your chest rotated up towards the sky as you do this. Use your inhales to find length as you reach up towards the sky again, and then your exhales to reach over towards the right. Yeah, we'll rise all the way back up to the top. Big arms reach. Both arms reach. And then exhale, left hand down towards the left side. Reach that right arm up and over. Keep rotating that chest up towards the sky. One more big inhale. Length. And then exhale, find depth. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. Both arms reach high. And then exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Lift your chest up towards the sky. Inhale again, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale again, cactus elbows, chest up high. Inhale, reach the arms back up towards the sky. Before you exhale, reach the arms all the way back and down towards the earth. Okay, we'll lace the hands behind the back, taking one last inhale to look up and lift the head up towards the sky as well. Before you exhale, keep the chest proud, but then just drop your chin towards your chest, and then just do gentle rock side to side with the neck. Good, and then on your next inhale, look back up towards the sky, big reach of the chest up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, release the arms and the back. Yeah, we're going to rotate ourselves onto all fours. So come onto your hands and your knees. Right. And make sure your wrists are stacked underneath shoulders, knees are stacked underneath hips. We'll find our chakravakas or our cat-cows. So on your next inhale, drop the belly as you lift your tailbone as well as your gaze. And I want you to move nice and slow here. So take your time going back and forth between both movements. And as you exhale, push your spine up towards the sky, bring your shoulder blades apart, and then just press down into your hands as you tuck your pelvis forward. And then inhale again, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tailbone lifts, and then exhale again as you round nice and slow. Good. You can make the movement a little bit more dynamic by shifting the weight forward and back. Just notice where you feel it most in the body. It's a good way to check in. Notice if there's any aches or pains. And then exhale. Yeah, gently come back into a nice neutral spine. And then on your next inhale, sweep the right arm all the way up towards the sky, finding a gentle twist. Make sure you look up towards that hand as well. Do your best to stack shoulders. And then exhale, reach towards the opposite side of the room. And then inhale again, sweep the arm back up high. And then exhale again, sweep it through. Yeah, we'll end it on the inhale. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, lower the hand back down towards the earth. Good. Other side. Inhale, reach the left arm high. Do your best to stack shoulders. Exhale again, sweep the arm underneath. Good. Inhale again, big reach. And then exhale again, sweep it through. Good. One more time, inhale, big reach. And then exhale, release the hand back down towards the earth. Good. We'll walk our hands forward, and then we'll gently tuck our toes, sending our feet all the way back behind us, finding a nice long plank. Make sure the wrists are stacked right underneath the shoulders, and then push the earth away, giving yourself a little bit more space between the shoulder blades. Good. Gently tuck the pelvis forward as you push back into those heels, activating the legs. Breathe nice and big. We're here for 3 more. Beautiful. 2 more. Good. Last one. So good. Inhale here. Exhale, send your hips all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. So if this is your first downward facing dog of the day, just gently drop the heels one at a time, pedaling out the feet, and then really pushing your shoulders up towards your ears, and then shifting the weight towards the front of the hands without actually lifting the wrists is just going to help alleviate a little bit of weight from there. Good. Keep your hips nice and high as you keep pedaling the feet left and right. Good. And then on your next inhale, look forward towards the hands. And then exhale, take some small steps to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. If your hamstrings are really tight, come up onto your fingertips as you walk them forward. And then once they arrive hip distance apart through the feet, on your next inhale, lift your hands to your shins as you roll the shoulders back, and then think about lifting the spine so that it's nice and straight, parallel to the earth. And then as you exhale, forward fold, let it go. Good. On your next inhale, bend the knees a lot, rise all the way to the top, hands up, look up as you reach. And then exhale, release the hands down to your sides in mountain pose. Beautiful. Keep your chest nice and broad. Tuck your pelvis forward, engage and pull the navel in as well as the ribs. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, let it go. Beautiful. On your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up towards the sky, big reach. And then as you exhale, forward fold, as you let it come all the way down to the ground, you could bend your knees here if you'd like. Inhale, flat back, straighten everything out, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, plant the hands, step your feet step your feet back into that high plank, and then slowly lower down all the way to your belly. Yeah, from here, you're going to just gently roll the elbows and shoulders back, and then clasp the hands behind the lower back. And then on your next inhale, pull your knuckles down towards your feet as you lift up through the chest. And then as you exhale, lower everything back down. Beautiful. We'll do 2 more lifts like that, and you can lift the legs if you choose. Inhale, lift whatever you can. And then exhale again as you lower. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, lift. And then exhale again as you lower. Gently bring your hands, release your hands, and bring them back by your rib cage. Roll the elbows and shoulders back behind you. Tuck your toes. And then lift yourself all the way back up to your plank. And then all the way back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take your next inhale as you take that right leg all the way up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bring that knee towards your nose. We'll do that one more time. Big sweep of the leg back up towards the sky. And then exhale again, knee to nose. Good. Step that foot forward between the hands and then walk it over towards the right side so the balance is a little bit easier as you come up into that lunge. Beautiful. Once you arrive into that lunge, make sure that back knee starts bent. Tuck your pelvis forward to keep that nice big bend in that front knee. And then from there, slowly start to reach that foot heel back, the left heel that is, and then see if you can maintain that gentle tuck of the pelvis. From there, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky, big reach. And then as you exhale, cactus the elbows out to the sides, heart up towards the sky. Good. Inhale again as you reach arms up. And then exhale, cactus the elbows. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, open up the heart. Inhale again, sweep the arms back up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring both hands back down towards the earth. Beautiful. From there, you're going to take that right foot and send it all the way back behind you. Kick that leg back up towards the sky. And then exhale, take a bend in that knee as you kick those toes over towards the left side of the room. Try not to shift too much of the weight into your left hand. And then look up past your left armpit to see if you can see the toes. If you can, wiggle the toes. And then gently reach that leg back up towards the sky before planting that foot back down towards the earth. Good. We'll take it to the other side. Inhale, reach that left leg high. And then exhale again, knee to nose. One more time like that. Inhale, big sweep of the leg. And then exhale again, knee to nose. Good. Anchor that foot forward, step it between the hands. And then again, walk it over towards the left side so that balance becomes a little bit easier. And then gently rise all the way up into your lunge. Good. Again, once you arrive, take your hips, make sure that they're gently tucked as you bend that back knee. And then once you find the hip alignment, then slowly start to push back into that heel, squeeze that glute, reach the arms back up towards the sky. Big inhale as you reach. Exhale, cactus the elbows, lift the heart up towards the sky. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, open up the heart. Beautiful. One more time, inhale, big reach. And then exhale again, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms back up towards the sky. One final time. And then as you exhale, slowly plant the hands back down towards the earth. Take that left foot all the way back and lift it back up towards the sky. And then exhale again as you bend the knee, and then kick that foot over towards the right side of the room, opening up the front of that left hip, and then look underneath that right armpit and try to keep that even distribution of weight through the arms. Beautiful. Inhale, reach that leg back up high. And then exhale, drop that foot back down towards the earth. Good. Inhale, lift up high up onto the toes. And then exhale, drop the knees nice and wide onto the mat. Untuck the toes behind you and find a child's pose. And reconnect with your breath for 3. Beautiful. 2 more. Good. And last one. Good. Gently start to lift the forehead, walk your hands back, and then gently come onto your knees, but bring your knees closer together. And then once you do that, you can tuck the toes and then come up to your sit like this. Good. It's going to be a big opener for the feet, so allow yourself to just open up into the feet right there for a moment. Take one big breath. Good. And then gently shift your weight back forward towards the hands. Good. From there, you're just going to gently circle the legs around. Nothing too complicated. Good. And then bring your legs out in front of you. We'll do one gentle forward fold here, so you can have the option of just finding that nice long sit. Have your hips more behind you than underneath you, and then just gently hinge from your hips here. This is really going to open up the hamstrings as well as the calves, as long as the feet are pushing back towards your face. If you feel like this is too intense for you this morning, you could just bend the knees and then allow your heart to rest over the thighs and your forehead to rest either on the hands or in your between your shins. So take the option that best suits your needs. This one's going to help decompress your spine a little bit rather than going deep into the hamstrings. And if you do keep the legs straight, that's going to tackle the back of the legs a little bit more. Good. We'll take 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. Take your time to slowly bring your spine all the way back up to your comfortable seat. And then you're going to make sure that the feet are right at the edge of the mat before you lower yourself all the way down towards the earth. Beautiful. Once you make it onto your back, we'll just gently bend the knees, bringing the heels really close to the hips, and your feet are going to be hip distance apart as well as the knees. Tuck the shoulders underneath so you feel a nice flat surface behind the back of the shoulder blades. And then on your next inhale, your hands are going to lift as well as your hips in your bridge today. So on your next inhale, lift the hips up nice and high, take the arms all the way up and then overhead towards the back of the room. And then as you exhale, lower the hips and the arms at the same time. Beautiful. Inhale again, lift arms and hips. Please don't turn your head while you do this. Exhale as you lower. Beautiful. And we'll just do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And then again, as you exhale and lower. Beautiful. Take your time to slowly bring your knees into your chest one at a time. Give yourself that nice big hug. Maybe give yourself that gentle rock side to side. And we'll end with a supine twist today. So I'll bring the arms out to the side. Allow your knees to fall over towards the right as you look over towards your left, keeping that left shoulder down. Take 2 more breaths on this side. Good, last one. And then take your time to slowly bring your head and your knees back to center. You can bring the knees back one at a time to put less pressure on the back. And then same thing, look over towards the right this time as you slowly take the knees over towards the left. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Oh, good. Last one. As you finish up that breath, gently bring your head back to center. Pick up the knees one at a time. And then give yourself a nice big hug as you give your knees a nice big hug into the chest. And then slowly release the feet back down towards the earth. Once the feet land, allow the soles of your feet to find each other, and then gently bring your knees out towards the sides. If this is a really big hip opener for you and you'd like a little bit of support because your hips are really tight, you can take the blocks and set them right underneath your thighs. Otherwise, just allow the gravity to do most of the work. And then take one hand over the heart and one hand over the belly. And allow yourself to settle just for a couple minutes to check in. How did the body feel? How did you sleep? And then for one time, just maybe for today, allow the day to meet you where you're at. We all have a tendency to do everything that needs to be done on our checklist, take care of our families and do work and do all of these chores and do this and that. But if you are feeling a little bit low energy today, I hope this class helped. But if you still are feeling a little low, know that that's absolutely okay. And it's okay for you to decompress, take your time, and again, allow the day to meet you where you're at. Because the more that you can pour love into yourself, be honest about where you are today, the better we will feel, and the better we can show up. So allow us one last moment, just allowing yourself to be, checking in physically, mentally, emotionally. And no matter where you are, know that you are loved exactly as you are. We'll invite one last big breath in, followed by a big exhale out, open mouth. Gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Allow your hands to support your knees to gently bring them back to close. And then slowly start to extend the legs out nice and straight. Reach the arms up overhead. Find one full body stretch. As you reach through your toes and through your fingertips. And then take your time. Bend the knees again, one at a time. Allow yourself to roll over to your favorite side. Coming into that comfortable fetal position. Before you slowly but surely make your way to your comfortable seat. Once you arrive, take one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly, finding gratitude for our bodies, this practice, and for allowing me to guide yours today. Thank you so much for being here, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope to see you at the next one.